set. Hi guys, welcome back. Welcome back to another In the Kitchen with Stephanie. And I'm Stephanie. I am your guide today and just getting my Instagram set up because, I like to be live in all of my social medias. And yeah. All right. I have to use my phone to do Insta. All right. Ziggy, stop. Okay, so I am actually going to be making dinner right now at noon. Not my usual, but we have to adjust sometimes, right? When the schedule changes and there's craziness going on. And today kind of has been like, oh, I didn't expect that to happen kind of day. So today was going to be one of those days that I had nothing planned, like nothing on the schedule. And I was like, all right, we're going to go with the flow, slept in and started my day, but just kind of like a little later in the day. And then I got a phone call from my dentist who says, hey, we can move up your appointment today if you want. And I was like, well, I kind of would like to because my appointment's for June and I need it. So I was like, okay. They moved my appointment to 12. So I'm getting my day ready. And like, okay, I gotta get breakfast done, maybe take lunch on the go, and then come home and have, dinner, cooking when I come back. So that got derailed. And they called me back and said, well, you know what? The doctor had an emergency. So can you come in for 4? And I'm like, 4? 4 is when I start cooking dinner because my husband's coming home around 4:30. And, I like to have everything all set. So that is why I'm going to be cooking dinner now on the live with you guys. So long-winded story, but here we got to the point. My husband always tells me when I try to tell him a story, he's like, can you get to the point? But I like to tell my details, okay? I like to tell my details, how I got from point A to point B, the reason behind things, the reason behind I do things in my story. I don't want to just say, oh, I'm cooking dinner now because I won't be home later. I like to get the details. Anyways, I see Nicole's on. Hey, Nicole, how are you? Again, just as a reminder, if you are on Facebook or YouTube, I will not be able to see your comments till after the fact for some reason. I mean, it has the option here, but it never really does show up. So if I don't see your comment while you are live, I'm sorry, but I will check back after. So today, I already had planned before this day started that I was going to be making Spanish rice and chicken for our dinner. And I have my meat out and everything. So I'm just going to get into that. The problem is I have some non-washed dishes in the sink and my meat is in the sink. So I got to kind of, adjust, move things around. I'll get to the dishes after I get this meat going. I had left the meat out late last night before bed because it was frozen solid like a rock. And I was like, this is not going to thaw easily for me tomorrow. So we're just going to leave it out and hopefully it thaws. And I just felt it and it still feels frozen. I don't know if I want to freeze my fingers. Wow, it's still frozen. Dang. And it's been over 12 hours, maybe even, can I do math? I took it out around 9 in the morning would have been 12, 10, 11, 12. So 3 plus 12 is 15. So it's been 15 hours and this thing is still pretty frozen. Ugh, my hands are going to freeze. I got to think of something. I got to think quick. What am I going to do with the meat? Anyways, oh gosh, a phone call coming. I think I'm just going to probably freeze my fingers because I want to get this done. I want it out of the way and I really don't want to wait. And I'm live here with you guys. We also had our breakfast late. Like I said, I slept in a little bit, kind of like slept in but not slept in. Like, you know, when you wake up and you're like, I just don't want to get out of bed. That was me this morning. So I just laid there for like, I want to say an hour and a half, until I was like, all right, I got to get my bum out of the bed and get to work. So usually I like to bake this, but I'm thinking I'm going to do what us Puerto Ricans call pollo guisado. And basically, guisado part is it marinates in the Spanish seasoning and broth to get the flavor in it. We usually skin it, so take all the skin for that. And I do like me some baked chicken, but I think for the purpose of this is not going to be consumed till later, I might just do the guisado part because then it can just cook in the crock pot until we're going to have dinner. So I think the trickiest part right now is actually getting it all cut up. So I buy this bag here at Walmart. It's like quarters, and it's 10 pounds, I believe. 10 pounds, but I do think they sell the 5 pounds as well. But I always get the 10 pounds. One, because for us, we're not going to eat all that in one, dinner, but we'll have leftovers. But also on other days where my family's over, or we're cooking for other people, it'll definitely give. So that's why I choose that. But if you have a small family, then go for the smaller size. It is a little more budget friendly at Walmart. What is this? Sometimes the fat on the meat looks so weird. Okay, so I'm able to pull it apart, but if you can see like the ice crystals on it, it's still pretty frozen. So let's see how many leg quarters comes in 10 pounds. Oh, it's so cold. It is so cold. I'm going to get frostbite. Frostbitten fingers. 4. Oh, this is going to be hard. The bottom part is still like super frozen. Oh, I don't know if I can get it out. 5, 6, 7, 8. So it comes with 8 full leg quarters in the bag of 10 pounds. I'm just going to get rid of all this so I can work with it in the sink. And then I'm going to pull out my crock pot. We're making pollo guisado, everyone. So you'll get a little insight into some Spanish food. Oh. Got the crock pot here. We're just going to stick everything in there, and then I'll just throw the broth, the seasoning after. And then I'm going to make the rice. Some Spanish rice. What's going on in here? This crock pot is so old. Well, it's been as old as I've been married. So 16 years. But it looks raggedy. Like if you can, I'll show you the inside of this. It's kind of like rusty inside. But it still works, so. So I will still use it. All right, so we're going to cut and throw in. And while I'm doing my thing, because watching me cut is boring, we're going to talk about ways to kind of adjust when craziness happens in your schedule, just like today for me. And I always want to, give you guys any kind of tips and pointers from one busy mama to another busy mama. And, if it can help you on your own health or weight loss journey, then I'm happy to be a part of that. Nicole, sorry, lunch making time here. Oh, okay. Tell me what you making, girlfriend. I'm gonna try to adjust the cameras here so you can see me better while I'm cutting chicken over here. All right, is that good enough to see me? Can you see me? I think you can see me okay. Yeah, share with me what you're having for lunch because it is lunchtime. I understand that. We're not having lunch till a little bit later because I think the boys and Kiara had their lunch around 10ish, and mine, by the time I sat down and ate it, I think it was close to 11, maybe like 10:30, 11, 10:30, 10:45, because I finished eating around 11. So we probably won't have our lunch till, let's see, it's 12:20 now, maybe like 1:30ish. So when we get off this live, all right. Pray that my hands don't become frozen because this is. Should I run hot water on it? Would that help me? Some hot water, please, so I don't have frozen hands from this. Because these things are still frozen even after 15 hours. I got some chicken juices in my eyes. All right, so let's talk about crazy schedules. I listened to a Bible study, and they were talking about how a lot of us can fall into the trap of always feeling or being busy. And it really hit me because a lot of times we can just say, I'm so busy. I can't do this. I can't do that. There's no way I can fit time into this or whatever because I got this, that, and the other, and I've never time for me. But the thing is, if, let's say, something out of the blue happens, right, where, you need to repair your car, or, your child needs you, they're leaving school for some reason, or, an emergency happens in your family, we find ways to make time. And we also find time for things that are important to us, that matter to us, even in the midst of a busy schedule. And it's one thing to have a full schedule, right? A full schedule means you are, doing things almost every day, almost all day. Like that's a full schedule versus just being busy, because busy can come along with also stress, overwhelm, anxiety. Busy can also mean things that you don't really want to do, but you're making yourself do because of numerous different reasons. And I think sometimes we don't really realize the things that are consuming our schedule need to be really reevaluated. Are these things that only need to be in our lives for a season, or we just continue to do this because someone else says we need to do it? And so I found myself realizing that my busyness was also the cause of my stress and anxiety and overwhelm. Make a list. It fell under that. And I started making space and time for the things that I knew were important that I wasn't making time for, which was my exercise, my meal planning, my homeschool with my kids, spending time with friends, spending time with family, serving in my church, those things that, were being put on the back burner because, I was just too busy and I had to do all the things, and I had to make sure my child, felt validated. So I put them in all these different things, and, and I think we don't really evaluate more on how that is impacting us in our lives. You know, so let me see. I have a comment. Help spread the bacteria, but the hands will be warm. The water is spreading the bacteria? Me running the water is spreading the bacteria? Well, I'll stop it at some point, but my hands are frozen. Nicole is trying to tell me about the water situation here, but I'll clean up. I will clean up as best as I can so there's no traces, but I need this to be unfrozen, somewhat unfrozen, because my hands are dying here. Especially as I'm like pulling apart the meat and the thing. So anyways, as I was saying, in my own life, just I like to give examples because, sometimes, when we're in the thick of it, we're not really thinking or seeing outside the box and seeing how it could work for your own life, because sometimes our schedules just consume us. And for me, I've had to kind of come to terms with things and say, okay, I really wanted to do this, but do I have the time for this? Will this help me move forward in what I'm trying to accomplish in this day, in this week for my family? And if the answer is no, or if the answer is it doesn't have to be right now, then I will, bite my tongue, despite what I think about it, and move forward with something else that has a greater impact and importance for our family. So like today I was like, oh, I have a day where I'm not doing anything because we still have homeschool, but a day that we're not going out. We don't have any plans on the schedule. Just can kind of go with the flow, take it as is, and and not worry about anything. It was like great, one of those days. But every day is busy. We have a homeschool co-op that we go out with at least twice a week. We have Bible study with the kids Tuesday mornings, which is where we were yesterday, and then I have my own Bible study during the week. And then we have a family Bible study, small group. So we have a lot. We have a lot going on. See my family on Sundays, and there's always something going on. But anyways, so Wednesday was like, okay, great, nothing. And then I got that phone call, and I thought to myself, well, this interrupts my day, right? This interrupts the fact that we had nothing other than school to do. But I was like, but I need it. Like my gums have been hurting me. I haven't seen a dentist since Massachusetts, and I need it. And if I can have the opportunity to go sooner than waiting till summer, then I should take it. So I took it, even though that interrupted my whole day. So I just adjusted. I just said, all right, well, I have reminders on my phone for everything. My reminder came up that I needed to go live today. So I was like, okay, I got to go live, but I do got to cook dinner early because I'm going to be gone by the time, my husband's home, by the time I normally make dinner. And I was like, well, a better time to start the dinner while I am chatting with my people on live and sharing about this. Kids are playing right now. I haven't set them up with their school stuff yet, but we will get to it, which is the beauty of homeschool, is how we can kind of make our own schedule with that. And I'm just adjusting as the best as I can. Some things are hard to adjust, but you figure out a way. Try to do it in a way that's not adding stress. I think that's it's the hardest thing, but the most crucial thing that we need to focus on is how do we minimize stress in our lives. when it comes to these type of things, But for me, I also have had a lot of challenges in my life with the new health thing that I have. And one of the things was kind of interrupting like my workout regime. And this week I've been able to do that. And I've been pretty on point with it. And I've been already seeing the results from it. And I'm like so happy. Like I feel happy. Even though I'm experiencing pain, my mood is so much better. And so right now I'm being treated and I have to continue pain medication.
Drink water.
And my reminder for drinking water. But, there's that old saying where there's a will, there's a way. And I always used to think it was silly, but it is so true. If you have the will to put in the work and not let, busyness and things that are happening in your schedule and people around you to get you to that point of overwhelm and feeling stuck and then not taking action, that's your worst enemy right there. So I just want to encourage you that it is possible, because I am a mom of 3 little ones, 2 7-year-olds and a 4-year-old going on 5. And like I told you already, so about my schedule, we're out and about a lot for Bible studies and homeschool groups and a lot of other things. It can be tedious. It can be stressful. But I'm at the point in my life where I'm trying to choose not to be stressed from things. If I do get to that point, then it's like, okay, we're just not going to go out. We're not going to do this activity today because we need rest. And the funniest thing, which is more of like an ironic thing, is that the 2 Bible studies that I did go to this week both spoke on the fact that we need rest instead of trying to strive to be perfect and do all the things and, try to achieve what you want and by fast passing it and making yourself go crazy. But to actually rest and most importantly, rely on God for the things that you're trying to achieve, it is a game changer. And it's a lesson that I feel like I've been trying to learn, a lesson that God has been trying to tell me, especially with the things that I'm going through right now with my health. It's like I have to rest a lot more now. I don't like it. I don't like it, guys, but I have to for my own health, but also for my own sanity. So I want to encourage you guys as well. If you feel like you're just running around like crazy, you have no time to do the things that you've been wanting to do. If you are on a weight loss journey and you're like, well, I just haven't been able to find the time to exercise. I haven't been able to find the time to sit down and buy the right foods, pick out the right recipes, and, all these different things that we generally do when we're trying to lose weight. I can't find the time to do that. My kids this, my husband this, my work this, right? There's always something. I ask you to pray about that and see where you can either A, change up your schedule, B, maybe stop doing something that's not serving you anymore, or doing a little less of something so that you can find time to make your own self a priority. That's the thing right there. We never make ourselves a priority, as moms too. We're trying to do everything for everyone, and then we get neglected. But also, what stuck out to me in the Bible study is that I also not only to make myself a priority when it comes to like health and my fitness and my nutrition and all that kind of stuff, having time to myself where I'm not going crazy, times to decompress, but also relying on the Father for that rest, to accept that rest, to be able to get closer to him, trust in him, and give all my worries and stressors to him. So that is my spiel to you today. I just wanted to share you what was on my heart and what I've been hearing this week a lot of. And I know it's a message for many, many people, not just for myself. So anyways, Nicole says 100% why I get to them 4 to 5 times a week. Is that the gym? Is that what you're saying there? And I'm having a salad, probably some chicken and red peppers. Oh, great. That's your lunch, right? Well, Nicole's having a salad with chicken. I have salad in my fridge that I should eat for lunch. So maybe I'll do that since you said it already and it needs to be eaten. The why. Yeah. So the gym. Yeah, exactly. And to take that a little bit further, even though that's not the main thing. The main thing is just finding time in your schedule. Not only finding it, it's also like seeing what is more of the priority, because a lot of times we say we're busy, but then we're spending some of that time doing mindless things like scrolling on Instagram, social medias. I know when I go down that, I can spend hours on social media, and it's like you don't even know, the time goes by so fast. You could be binge watching Netflix, you could be doing other things that aren't serving you, when you could do something that you have access to. You don't need to have a gym to work out. I don't go to the gym to work out. I mean, I would love to, but it's just not in the cards right now. But I still get my workout in. I have my dumbbells at home. I have a little bit of other equipment that I can use. And you can easily put in a video that you searched on YouTube for, or other apps that have them for free. There's really no excuse not to work out. You can do a short one. I know when I first started working out, I used to just commit to walking every day with my kids. But then after that, when I kind of wanted to step up my game, I did YouTube videos, or on Amazon Prime. They had workout videos. I don't know if they still have them, but you can find them. You can definitely find them. And, you don't have to do like an hour. I do 20 minutes. I literally do 20 minutes a day. So you really can just make it work for you. If you only have 10 minutes in your day, find a 10-minute video. If you have 20 minutes, do a 20-minute video. If you want to do more, then that's totally up to you. But I'm speaking to those that, say they don't have time. When you're in the gym, it's longer, because you're either waiting for a machine to be available, you're doing certain reps, stuff like that. So when you're going to the gym, it is much longer. But if you're just going to do a video and it's a really good one with weights, they have them. They certainly have them. So try that out. I'm almost done with this chicken here, and I'm gonna put the seasoning in and then set it to go, and then that'll be ready for dinner because it's gonna cook on its own. That's the beauty of a crock pot. If you have one, you should utilize it a lot more. That's what I did this past Sunday when we went to church, and our soup was ready because I left it before we left to church. I love the crock pot for times that I can't be home. But yeah, if you don't have time to make certain recipes that help you in your weight loss, then find ways to do crock pot recipes, or something that's going to help you do things a little quicker and not take up so much time in the kitchen for you. There are so many things out there. It's just, are you making excuses? Or is there really something else in the way? And if there is really something else in the way, how can we change the outcome of that? Like, how can we still work through what your other commitments are, but be faithful to these really important commitments that you want in order to get to where you want to be. That's what I had to do when I lost the weight. In the beginning, I would make excuses. I would be like, I don't have time. I don't have energy. I don't know, what to do for working out. I'm too tired to work out. I don't have the stamina. I made so many excuses, or it's not going to work for me. I've tried this before. I keep gaining the weight. So many different excuses. It was really funny. Until I said, that's it. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I don't want to live like this. I don't want to feel like this. Something needs to change. And that something needs to change. It changed. It changed. I used to say my kids, I couldn't do it because they were so little. At the time that I started losing weight, I had Kiara. She wasn't 1 yet. She was like maybe 9 months, 8, something like that. And the boys were 2.5. So I would be like, oh, I can't do it, because then they would cry for me, interrupt my thing. And then it's like, you know what? It was getting to be warmer out. I was like, I'm just going to take them with me. If they're the reason I'm not working out, then why can't I just make them come with me? And so that's when I got this nice wagon. I still have it. We don't use it as much now, but we do use it every so often. And I threw all 3 kids in there and I walked. It was like, all right, I can do this. Again, where there's a will, there's a way. And then from there, they got a little bit older, started getting colder out. And I just did a short workout video, but I committed to it. And that's one of the biggest things right there, is that don't do something, and then quit on yourself. You need to be committed. So if you think, 10 minutes is not going to do anything, Stephanie, well, it's 10 more minutes than you're doing now, right? 10 more minutes than you're doing now. And after time, you start improving in your flexibility and your strength, and you start feeling more empowered, more comfortable, more confident, and you want to do more. And that's exactly how it felt. I was like, wait, this 10-minute video, which I thought was not going to really do anything, I'm seeing results. I'm feeling more confident, and I feel stronger. I can do more. I can lift more. I can spend more time. Instead of a 10-minute, I'll do a 20-minute, and that's truly right there. All those things. You know what? Even before trying any diets or some major program, like right there, what you saw, getting past the excuses, doing something that works for you, regardless of having kids or whatever, and then having that momentum to keep going and, feel good enough to be like, I can do more. Right there is how you lose the weight. More than any diet, more than any specific program out there that promises flat abs or whatever, right? More than any of those stuff, it's the grit. It's the perseverance. It's the, I'm not going to give in to the temptations before, the habits before, the excuses that I used to have. It's the grit. It's like, I'm going to keep going. Even when I have hiccups, even when I don't feel like it, even when, my schedule's tight, even when I'm sick, whatever, I'm going to keep going. And that right there, my friends, is why I have kept my weight off in the past 4 years. So hope that inspires you today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you want any information on how to work with me, I have 2 programs. One is a 4-month weight loss program called Sexy Fit Mamas. I've had over 20 women go through that program and lost weight, and proud to have been part of their transformations. And then I also have Faithfully Nourished, which is all about learning how to meal prep and eat healthier for your family. So if you want any more information on that, let me know, comment or DM. And I am on my last mic quarter. Woohoo! They're all in there. I have a stack of fat that I got to throw out, but we're going to season this bad boy up and put the broth and set it to go. And then I'm gonna make some Spanish rice for my family. And what time is it? It's almost 1. And then I'm gonna have to prep some lunch for us before we have to start getting out the door for my dentist. Hopefully that goes well. Pray for me. Because I hate the dentist. I need it, but I hate it. I mean, I haven't met anybody that says they love the dentist, but it's not fun time. So I will see you guys next Wednesday. And my hands are full of, you know what? Before I touch the laptop or phone, I need to first throw away all this fat and then wash my hands so I don't have to put chicken stuff on my devices. And then I will end it. Unfortunately, I do have to touch my door handle. I just have to wash that after. Yeah, fun times touching raw chicken. And my soap doesn't want to come out. This dispenser, we installed it with the faucet, but it always gets stuck. There it goes. I don't know why it takes so long to come up. It's annoying. And I think I cut myself a little bit. But it's never a day that I go without cutting myself. Those knives, ever since I got these knives, always cut myself. I don't know why. But with these particular knives that I have, I always cut myself. All right. Now I can say bye and touch my laptop. Well, I hope you guys are having some warmer weather like we are having. We've been having like 60s, 70s. Yesterday was 75, I believe. Next week we're getting 80, which is nice. So I'm excited about having warmer weather because I don't like the cold at all. We have to make room for things. I need the color to this. Oh, it's right here. Come on. There you go. Yeah. Warmer weather I'm excited about because I do not like the cold. So let's see. I see some comments from Nicole that I didn't respond to. Sorry, my dear. You had salad because it was gonna check out sooner than later. Yeah, I actually have salad too that I need to get to because I made it. I bought it Saturday. Like I bought all the fixings for salad on Saturday. Can I talk? But I made it for Sunday for all my guests that I had over. And then I think I had some more on Monday with my dinner. I didn't have it yesterday. So today I should have it because usually salad, like when you make it, like you cut everything up, it starts like wilting and stuff. I know the cucumbers, I might have to pick those out because the cucumbers will get soggy fast. But anywho's it. So yeah, I need to make sure I eat it today or something. She says Instant Pot. That whole bag of lead quarters, then pick off the bones, pick off the ones, and portion and freeze for quick dinners. Oh, okay. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, that is a really good idea, actually. I should do that, but sometimes I'm like, you know, as I was talking about before, like sometimes you get into that mood where you're like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to deal with it right now. You know, sometimes I'm like that. It's funny. I'll have like bouts of like, oh, I want to do all the things. So I like clean the whole house and all that kind of stuff. And then other days I'm like, oh, I really don't want to do it. I really don't want to touch it. You know, I have to like get myself hyped or in the mood or like first thing in the morning where I have the most energy to really do certain things like that. But like, yeah, I get it when you first buy it instead of freezing it, because that's what happened. I bought it and then I froze it right away. And then now when I wanted to use it, I have to take it out like the day before because it takes forever to thaw. So yeah, I get what you mean. That's true. That's a good idea, guys. If you get a big thing of meat, if it's on sale, because usually when do you buy a big thing of meat? Usually when it's on sale, or like me when I have a lot of guests over. But if you want to get it when it's on sale, but you're not going to use it all, then that's a good idea. You cook it up, put it in the Instant Pot, whatever, and then you can freeze portions for whenever your meals. So that's a really good idea. Logan had a crush on his height. That's cute. That's cute. And you had typo. Yeah, I said bones initially, but then I corrected myself because I was like, well, that's not what that says, but I get it. That's why you have the chicken pre-cooked and then freeze it. Good. So maybe I'll do that next time. But sometimes I want it, like a lot of times when I buy a bag like that, I want to do baked chicken. I really do like baked chicken. So instant potting it will make it not baked chicken. It'll make it more of like a wet chicken. So it depends on what you're planning to do with that meat. But the other day, I don't know if I did this on purpose or an accident, but I had bought like a ton of ground meat. And I was like, oh, shoot, we have like 11 pounds of ground meat. I was like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? Usually like we'll make tacos, but I was like, I'm not going to have tacos all the time. We're going to have to think of other ideas to make with it. So I had done like meatballs. What else did I do? I did a couple of different, I just can't remember it all, but yeah, those are good ideas if for like portioning things out, like if you're doing meal planning or just like something to make it a little easier on yourself during the week or whatever. That is a really good idea. But if you can't manage to have the strength, like sometimes I am in that kind of mood, then you just kind of have to go with the flow. But see, I made it work. I cut up all that. It's in the thing. Is it on? Yeah, it is on. So I just have to put the broth in. So if you want to know, I make my own sofrito. This is one of the, what's it called? I want to say seasonings, but it kind of is seasoning it. But I think there's another word. Anyways, to give it flavor. And then usually, you know what I'm out of? I'm going to have to make my own. But I'm out of sazon. So I use these two, which as you can see, I'm out of. I'm going to have to make my own because obviously we need this. But this one is adobo. This one is sazon. This one is sofrito. I do some salt because those don't have salt in them. And back in the day, we used to make our stuff like the guisado and the rice with tomato sauce, but I don't do tomato sauce anymore because of acid reflux. So we just eliminate it now. A base. Yeah. It's the base. I have one for the rice and one for the chicken. I portion these out. So that's another example. So I get like my big blender and I put all the ingredients for this, which is onions, peppers, garlic, cilantro, and some seasonings. And I make like a huge batch and then I portion them out into these little snack bags so that when I'm going to cook, I just take the snack bag and I'm able to freeze it that way because before I used to freeze it in a big container and then I would have to thaw the whole container to use some of it because it's hard as a rock can scoop out my portion. So now I do that. So that's another idea about portioning, whether it's meat, whether it's some sort of base seasoning that you're using, that you're making. That's why it's a good way because I do that a lot with other stuff, even like things that I've made for dinner. And then I'm like, oh shoot, I'm not going to eat all of this, but now I have to thaw the whole thing, so it's better to have it portioned so you don't have to run into that problem. I hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it. So when we get our meat, we portion it out into pounds. So we'll buy like a big thing that's like maybe 5 pounds or whatever, and then we'll put it into our own Ziploc bag. So it's only a pound. Because usually that's all we use is a pound of meat per meal. Depends. It really does depend. Like this, obviously, I told you that's 10 pounds. It's going to be less without the skin. But we're still not going to eat all that today. My kids will eat this meal, so more of it will be gone. There are some meals that I make and my kids won't eat it, so I have to make them something separate. But this meal they will eat, so more of it will be consumed. And then we'll have leftovers for tomorrow that we'll all eat. And then if there's anything else after we eat our leftovers, then I'll freeze it. That's what I usually do. All right. You type faster than I see because I'm talking and then all of a sudden, boop, boop, boop. All right. That's why I already read that. It does take away that. See, I need to read it when I'm talking so I can know what you're responding to. I had the slice of sourdough. Now I had tea. Oh, okay, cool. I had a slice of sourdough with my breakfast. I had eggs and some turkey. But now you're saying tea, I want tea. I remember you having to do that. Yes, because I'm a crazy girl. Anyways, I'm going to end the live because we've been on here for 46 minutes, and usually I like to do only 15, but because cutting the chicken takes some time, I got to get started on the rice and then give my kids lunch. And then we have to get ready to go to the dentist. So thank you guys for joining me again for our weekly live in the kitchen with Stephanie. You never know what I'm up to. I'll be maybe making breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Today was dinner. And then sometimes when I'm eating super late, I make breakfast. And then if I'm on time, I'm making lunch or a snack. But yes, if you have a chaotic schedule, if you feel like you're constantly on a wheel, saying I'm always busy, I never have time for myself, how am I supposed to start this weight loss journey? How am I supposed to be eating healthier, etc., etc.? I challenge you again. What was the things I said? Number one, to really pray about it. Like, how can I make these things that are important for me a part of my lifestyle? What do I need to eliminate? And really kind of marinate in that. What do I need to change? What do I need to eliminate? What do I need to do less of? How is it that I don't have time for me? Is it that I'm making excuses? Or is it that my me time is consumed in scrolling on social media? Ask yourself all those questions, and I'm sure you will find an answer in all of that. And then implement. Start taking action today, not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, not when you feel like it. Because let's just be honest. If we waited on when we felt like it to actually do things, we would never do them. We just would never do them. So it's not based on, do I feel like it? Trust me, every day I don't feel like it. I don't feel like homeschooling. I don't feel like working out. I don't feel like cooking. I don't feel like getting out of the bed. I don't feel like, XYZ, socializing today. There's so many things that we can let the enemy get in our minds and say, I don't feel like it. But we gotta push hard, persevere, and make time for those things that matter in our life that really is going to make a difference. And I'm a living testimony to that. I had all the excuses. I had busyness, overwhelm, stress galore in my life. I was at my highest weight ever. I had 3 little kids, and I thought I would never lose the weight. And I'm here today telling you I did it. It wasn't some miracle. It didn't happen overnight. I just stopped with all the excuses. I had grace on myself to not expect perfection. I gave myself rest and time to kind of decompress, to be able to go on a girls' night out, to be able to pamper myself, to be able to have time alone, like in the tub, shower, whatever. So, it could be even the small things that we're not doing for ourselves. And when those things started happening, my life started changing for the good. And like I said, every day is not perfect. Actually, no day is perfect, but every day doesn't always go as planned. No, it doesn't. I wish, but it doesn't. And so I encourage you to take those steps and move forward. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna leave you with that. I hope it inspired you, and I pray that you have a great rest of your week. I will be back next Wednesday at noon. Join me live or come back and watch the replay. I appreciate you guys, and we'll talk soon. Bye bye.